Okay, are people? Okay, great stuff. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for that reminder. If it's okay, I'm going to just launch straight into a chairperson's report. And so again, apologies. You're probably going to have to just listen to bear with me for a few minutes, as I'm going to basically, as it's an online call, I will actually just go through my speaking notes with some support slides, and they'll carousel through as I speak. So great. Look at, as I said, the following is my chairperson's report for 2024. And 2024 was a startup year for IARA, with an interim committee and a group of helpers coming together from around the world to start the new association. Someone described it as being similar to a business startup, with lots to be done and lots of good, positive energy around it. So that was the energy that we brought into from the interim committee. The new committee settled in, slide there, Marin. The new committee settled into action pretty quickly with monthly online meetings and correspondence over WhatsApp. We organized ourselves around key areas like marketing, communications, admin and organization development, membership development, and a number of project areas. A few early achievements in the communications area included domain registration and the development of our website with no budget, getting social media channels activated, and the design and launch of a new logo for the association. And a big shout out to Fletcher Hamill from the Handrail, an American adventure racer and brand strategist who did a wonderful job on IARA's logo. Hope you all like that. Also, yeah, websites, Instagram, Facebook, all of those social channels were activated pretty early in our work. The interim committee established good governance practice around our meetings and adopted an open policy around our work, with all minutes being published on our website and the hosting of 2 open meetings during the year for anyone to join. The committee believes strongly in this approach to our work, and it's something that we will continue in 2025 and beyond. Throughout the year, we maintained open dialogue and communications with the international AOR community and country reps from many countries, introducing the new association, responding to queries, and writing letters of support when requested. One of the key areas we needed to progress was the development of a membership criteria for the new associations and getting ourselves set up for members to join. This involves significant consultation and a review of different AOR structures in different countries, and eventually led to the development of our membership statutes. This document sets out the 4 categories of membership for IARA and the process for countries and organizations to join IARA. This process was opened to all countries in June 2024, and we were very proud to see 11 national adventure racing associations and 2 associate members working through this process to join IARA over the last 6 months. I can say that it was a highlight for us all on the committee to see the process up and running, but to see members beginning to join. And just on that, a big thank you and a shout out to the membership working group that included Alan, Damon, and Maren that led this work for IARA. We're all aware that IARA was established in response to the no consultation takeover by World Obstacle Organization. World Obstacle continues to claim adventure racing as one of its sports, despite requests from IARA to stop this. This situation took a rather bizarre twist in late 2024 with the proposed merger of World Obstacle with World Pentathlon, and World Obstacle's attempt to take adventure racing with it into that merger. IARA made a firm stand against this, and with significant lobbying to the members of World Pentathlon, that's over 130 national pentathlon associations around the world, and the launch of an #AOR Says No campaign. A petition was signed by 1,300 adventure racers from around the world supporting IARA's stand on this. With support from World Pentathlon members, the words adventure racing were removed from the proposed definition of pentathlon sport when the when the members voted against this at their annual Congress in November. This was a small victory that brought the AR community together. It is our hope that World Obstacle will take this as another sign that the adventure racing community does not want them to represent our sport. Our committee created 3 specific project groups to progress projects in the areas of AR rules, safety and environment in 2024, all important areas for the sport. And all of these projects made some progress and will continue into 2025, where hopefully they will develop into guidelines and good practices in those areas. The Admin and Organisation Development Working Group placed its focus on where and how to register IARA as a company, a rewrite of our constitution, and the preparations for this, our first AGM. The working group examined the company establishment options in many countries and eventually landed on a recommendation to register IARA as a company limited by guarantee, not-for-profit status in the UK. This was judged to be the easier, lowest cost option that could be progressed quickly. And this view and this proposal was supported by the committee. The registration of the company, IARA's company, is now in progress. On the constitution front, the working group looked at other international sport federations and decided in the end to keep our constitution as simple and as clear as possible. We believe the constitution presented today serves its purpose, clearly setting out what IARA aims to do, its structure and operation. It is highly likely that there will be amendments to the constitution as our organisation develops and matures, but we believe it's a good foundation to start and build from. As we move into 2025, we decided to take the organisation's steering committee to make the steering committee smaller with only 6 officer positions. We see much of the development and policy work being shaped by small project groups made up of volunteers and people from the AR community. We think this model will be more efficient, and it also means that people can get involved in projects that they are interested in for a short period of time, and they will not need to attend monthly steering committee meetings and things like that. In terms of priorities for 2025, there will be some discussion on that later in the meeting, but it's clear that there will be a continuation of some of the work from 2024. The membership base will continue to grow, and we will see a range of projects and awareness raising events happening also. Overall, it's been a busy and productive first year, and I would like to extend a word of thanks to everyone on the steering committee. It's been great working with you all and seeing your passion for the sport of adventure racing come through. I would especially like to give a big shout out and thank you to our General Secretary, Lisa, from South Africa, who has given a huge amount of time to getting the new association off the ground. Thank you, Lisa. As we look to 2025, the road rises before us, and we've made a good start, and we've established a good foundation for IARA, the new association, to build off. It is now up to the members and the adventure racing community to continue to give their support by taking this opportunity, and to get involved and to help IARA develop and grow as a strong voice for the sport of adventure racing around the world. Thank you all for that. And I'm certainly happy to take any questions that anyone has. And if people are happy with that report, I'd also propose that it be adopted by the meeting. If there's any questions at all, feel free to shout.
I would just say really amazing work. It has been fun to be on this journey, and I'm looking forward also for the future to see where this can go. So really good job for everybody that has been involved.
Thanks, Lars. Little did we realize when we started our discussions 2.5 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. A long time in the making, but good things comes over time.
Yeah. Are people happy that that chairperson's report is adopted? Thumbs up there, guys. If we have a seconder there as well, that'd be great. Okay.
Seconded.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. So I'm going to hand you over to our treasurer, Adrian Crane from the USA, just to give a brief treasurer's update report.
Okay, thank you very much. So I have been interim treasurer for this first year of IARA's creation. We've been very lucky that the initial things that we needed to do required very little money. We have had kind donations from several people to fund the amounts we needed for such things as the website, the Zoom meetings, and the initial company registration. And we have put together a budget for the future. And if you'd like to move to the budget slide. I don't know whether everyone can read the fine print on this, but we're initially planning that we will at some point introduce national member fees and individual member fees. These numbers are the totals for that, so the individual costs will be fairly small. We really need to find some fundraising methods to generate the sort of money that will be required to keep IARA moving forward. And most of that comes currently under the heading of other fundraising, because it's basically a new project for this year to come up with some methods that we can use to generate funds. We have some specific expenses that'll happen next year, initially to finalize the non-profit entity that's being created, websites and computer apps for communication. But we would like to embark on being able to pay for some graphic design services to improve the website, and we'll probably come across some accounting needs. And the major thing would be that because of the volume of work involved in an organization like this, it would be nice if we can get to the point where we've got a paid, even if part-time position, for somebody to do some of the large amount of legwork required to keep the organization going. So this is the budget, and I hope that that'll be acceptable to the membership.
So we can take any questions on that anyone has. I appreciate that the text is a bit small in the in this document here, but this is a provisional budget, as Adrian has said. You know, so we're still and we're operating from a very low base. Adventure IARA still doesn't have its own bank account, and so we will be looking to create the bank account as soon as the company is established. And so we needed that before we could establish a bank account.
Okay, did we need to formally accept that budget, or is this just informational?
I'm of the opinion this is just for information and as a guide for the incoming committee.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, well, thank you for that, Adrian. Thank you for that. It's a work in process, I guess, but I think the sentiment of what Adrian has laid out there is pretty clear. We've operated with with no budget really this first year. So we need to start putting some structure around that, and indeed just paying for some services and trying to improve our in a number of areas. Okay, thank you, Adrian, for that. We next item just that we would like to kind of deal with at this is a number of motions that we would like to again vote on with you this evening. Motion number 1 relates to IARA's constitution. So this constitution has been circulated over the last number of weeks to all adventure racing countries and indeed all members. We've also invited proxy votes for anyone from the member countries that would not be able to attend this evening. Generally, the operating rules of IARA is that it's the full members that have voting rights, and so therefore it is the obviously we have 11 member countries as of today. Although I do appreciate that US ARA was very nearly over the line and probably just missing out on membership, formalizing its membership to this evening. Have you got any questions? Are we, there has been significant time for people to review the Constitution. Can we go to does anybody have any questions on that before we just go for take a vote on adopting that? Okay. I propose we go straight to go, and I would propose that the members adopt the IARA Constitution as read. Can we get some votes on that in the chat, please, from your various countries? Most member countries will have a voting representative, and if they could just put in their name and that they are they're yes. Great stuff. Hopefully we have our quota. Excellent. I think that's a fairly unanimous carry. I think we can report that has been carried, and so that constitution has been adopted by IARA. Just the second piece of business, again relating to the constitution, but done as a separate document. Our membership statutes have been updated since we've actually kind of done a rewrite on the Constitution, but still remains with the four categories of membership and so on. The statutes has been circulated to all members. So, is there any questions on that? Appreciate that we still haven't managed to get translations on these documents up on our website or circulated. They will be circulated and they will be available on the website, as quickly as we can get them done. Okay. I've got a query just in there from David. David, do you want to? All right, maybe that's. Okay, so basically are we just, that's great. Thanks for that, David. Okay, I'm going to propose that the membership statutes be adopted by IARA and the membership. And can we just see your endorsement of that? Again, just limited to the member countries. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Wayne. Okay. Okay, great stuff. Lisa, do we have a motion carry there?
Seven. I'm missing Denmark, Brazil. Thank you very much, guys. And we have France. Thank you very much. All good?
There. Great, great. Thank you all. That's just a significant amount of work gone into all of that. So just again, a thank you to the committee members, the interim committee members working both on the admin and org development group. That was Adrian, Ross, Lisa, myself, and Marin. And again, the membership working group, which we called out earlier, but just as I said, very, very exciting to get those adopted, get those documents completed, but more important to see all of the members, all of you members coming in. So we're just going to move to the next part of this meeting. We are going to go through our election of committee members and officers for 2025. Lisa has circulated the listing of nominations that we have received, and I'm going to now formally just step down as chair, and I'm going to hand over just the administration of this particular section to my colleague Adrian, who is not going to be standing for any officer positions in 2025. Adrian, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Cormac. So I'm Adrian Crane. I've been a member of IARA during the last year from the USA, and I'll just lead us through the election process. We are going to elect 6 positions. 4 of them are the chairperson, general secretary, treasurer, and media and PR. 2 additional positions will be general members, general member 1 and general member 2. For the chairperson, we have received 1 nomination, and in that case, we can bypass the election process and just present Cormac MacDonald as the nominee for the chairperson position. Do we need to get an acceptance of the results of that election, which would be do we need to ratify it by the member countries?
Yes, I think that would be the correct approach, Adrian.
Okay, so if the member countries could say aye, yes or no to the nomination and election of Cormac MacDonald as chairperson.
By acclamation.
And thank you very much, Cormac, for stepping up to be the nominee for that and the person who will take on that role. I'm sorry to ask, Lisa, do we have adequate response to confirm that? Yeah. Okay, so Cormac MacDonald will be the chairperson for 2025. In the same manner, for General Secretary, we had 1 nominee. That nominee is Lisa Despaville. And again, would the member countries please confirm that they are accepting the single nominee of Lisa Despaville for General Secretary. Perhaps we can ask Marin to count the votes for this one if he's able to, since we don't want an immediate conflict of interest. Do we look like we have that, Marin?
Not yet.
Okay. So Lisa de Speyville as General Secretary for 2025. In the same manner, for Treasurer, we have one nominee, Ross Phillips. Ross Phillips will be elected as Treasurer. Could we please have confirmation of that? And I think this time again, Lisa can revert to the vote counter if she's able to. Are we there, Lisa?
We're not there yet.
No.
No, almost. Voting countries, please pop in your votes.
I would say, Lisa, we just need to get a majority. We don't need to have full quorum voting. So that's what
Okay.
we're counting.
Okay, so Lisa is sorry, Ross Phillips is confirmed as the Treasurer for IARA for 2025. For the position of Media and PR, we have one nominee, which is Wayne Leake from Canada. If the voting countries could please put their vote for or against Wayne Leake for the position of Media and PR. I think that looks like a confirmation. Okay, very good, Wayne. Thanks for your abstention. But I believe we have the numbers for Wayne Leake will be the Media and PR for 2025. Thank you very much. We now have the General Member position 1, for which we have 5 nominees. And the nominees are Alan Pujol from Uruguay, Nils Filius from Netherlands, Jose Perez Clara from Spain, Marek Navratil from Czech Republic, and Pascal Bahoud from France. And if the voting countries would please...
Sorry, Adrian, I'm going to quickly stop you here. For this voting, we have a form. For the voting countries, we will put the form now in the chat. Please go to the form and fill in your vote for the first position of General Member. After this first vote, 1 position will be filled, and the remaining 4 nominees will go into the second vote for the second position.
Thank you, Marin, for the explanation of the process. So countries should follow the link that Marin has just posted in the chat. So we need the countries to go to the voting form and select their the choice that they prefer, and Marin will automatically tally those votes to see, hopefully, that we have a single winner for the position of General Member 1. So I think we'll wait for Marin to tell us how the voting's going.
Six votes in now. 7.
Do we know who we're waiting for now, Marin?
We're done. This is
Okay,
the
good.
result of the first vote.
Okay. So I believe Alan Pujol has secured that position.
Yes.
Is that the correct? Okay. So the first general member is Alan Pujol from Uruguay. Congratulations, Alan. We'll now go forward to vote for general member 2. Both general members have equal standing, by the way. And if the voting countries would go to, well, maybe Marin can explain when the form is ready to be reused for general member 2.
I'll post the form now.
Okay, so if voting countries would go to the form and vote for the general member 2 out of the 4 possible nominees.
While people are voting, if we can just add that thank you so much to countries for putting people forward and for the nominees for agreeing to be nominated. Thank you. And also for people putting themselves forward. The structure in how we have the organization, as Cormac explained, is that although we've got these sort of 6 positions, throughout the rest of this year, we're going to have many tasks and working groups. And we need people with their interests in various areas and their expertise and their skills to be on these working groups. And one of the joys of the working groups is that we look at them within a fixed period of time. So it might run 8 to 12 weeks. And in that case, you jump in on that task group. So any of the nominees who are not in like general member 1, general member 2 now, please, we need you still, and we need your skills and experience to jump in on working groups throughout the year.
Well, that would apply not only to nominees, I think, but to any of our audience today. If you'd like to be involved to help with the progress of IARA through the working groups that we'll have.
That's correct. And also, as we progress through the year, when certain tasks come up, we will publicize it out to the countries and community to say, this is what the next project is coming up. You know, would you like to be involved? We do, and I was coming from Adrian there, people say, you know, how do we pronounce the IARA? We tend to pronounce it IARA or IARA. It kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit there.
Okay, then back to the voting. Thank you, Lisa. We have our votes in. And the result is that Niels Filius of the Netherlands is going to take the 2nd position. So congratulations there, Niels.
Okay, yes, congratulations, Niels and Alain, and also the 4 who've filling the other 4 positions. Yeah. So thank you very much for being involved, the member countries for being involved and performing the election for us. And I can hand it back to, I think, our current chairperson for 2025, Cormac MacDonald.
Well, okay, Adrian, thank you for that. We might get a confirmation of those 6 positions just for the record, I guess, and for the minutes. Lisa, whenever you have got that list, that'll be great. We might revert back to it. Thank you, Adrian, also for great job, very professional, and Merin, absolutely brilliant. Just from my own perspective, I just like also call out Merin for his really, really superb work over the last year. We really would not have been where we're at, without Merin. He certainly took a role in most project areas, most project groups, and really helped us kind of move things along. So really fantastic. And I know he's got a busy year ahead with new jobs and big plans for racing. So we wish him well in that.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, great stuff, Merin. Lisa, shall we move to the open forum piece? Okay, we'll come back to just a confirmation of committee for 2025, but just I'm going to hand over to Merin just as part of our preparation for the AGM. We wanted to just test the water with members and with the AR community around where they felt IARA's priorities should rest and what are the project areas we should be pursuing in 2025. The International Adventure Racing Organization, it was developed by adventure racers for adventure racing, and the policies and the projects will be informed and shaped by the adventure racing community, and that's really at the heart of what we're doing. And so the projects that we select to do will be projects that are important to the community. Merin, over to you.
Thank you, Cormac. So we have asked all the countries and also others in the adventure racing world to share their ideas for IARA and where IARA should proceed next, now that we've established ourselves a little bit with 11 countries. And from those questions, we received around 20 replies with all kinds of ideas. So thank you very much for that. These are the results. One of the biggest topics for all of you was the information. So getting the information organized of all the countries, bringing that together and being able to share that on to other countries to help them develop, to learn from other countries. So that's something that the projects of IARA can take up next year. Of course, also membership remains a big topic. We now have focused on the full members, and next year the membership working group will continue and expand also to the observer members and a few more possible full members, as well as looking at associates. So a lot of room there for membership working group to improve on helping actually countries instead of only getting the countries on board. So that's going to be a great role there. And other ideas that have been shared are to expand the presence, to be visible as IARA, and also to create a database for insurance help. It's an idea that came up through the year. That IARA could take a role in getting all the information together of how much accidents actually happen to inform insurances how dangerous or not so dangerous our sport actually is. So that's the summary of the priorities for IARA for next year. Back to you, Cormac.
Sorry, Merin, was there some reference there in the diagram to project areas that IARA could look at as well, like in the areas of rules or environment or such like? Youth development.
Rules and referees was also named, as well as formally establish IARA, the steps that you already mentioned that are taken in the next month or so. Also youth initiatives, making a calendar or organizing the races that are there in some sort of a calendar. Support less developed countries, yeah, all sorts of ideas.
Okay. So I'm just going to open it to the floor briefly enough, and just if people have any kind of thoughts, suggestions, you can put it in the chat, or feel free to just share with the share with the meeting.
All right. So just to clarify, the things that Moraine went through are just the responses that we received as a result of a survey. It's not to say that they are the final. What's the word I'm looking for? I've forgotten it. Final priorities for the new committee. And if there's any other things coming in from the members, open communication. So send the ideas in as functional things to look at, working projects to tackle. And the committee will have to consider those and decide which are the priorities on that basis. Thanks.
Very nice. Just a small distraction there. Have we any other comments on priorities for 2025, or is there any other comments on this topic in the chat box? Yeah. Lisa, are we happy to? People are remarkably quiet on this topic. We were expecting a flood of discussion on this one. So what I can say again, yeah, look, thanks for that comment, Felix. There's lots of work to be done. There's lots of work to be done really to try and actually get the voice of adventure racers into policies, into kind of guidelines and sharing of good practice. So it's definitely going to be part of that's going to lead to some of the profile that we need to create for IARA. So there's definitely a lot of work. I think while the 2024 would have been a formation year, an establishment year for IARA, 2025 will be more about presence and starting to actually show value and starting to actually show what it can do with almost like an international federation of national associations, and indeed broadening that out to the adventure racing kind of community worldwide. So it's really, really exciting what can happen. Yeah.
Cormac, I have a question. And I think it would be great to have the information for everybody here. How are we going to work? I mean, we have now a steering committee, but we had a steering committee and we had a chat group with lots of people involved. Are we now doing some other chat group? Are we just going to have the steering committee? Are the members going to be involved in day-to-day decisions? I think it would be great to clarify that. So when are the members going to be called to decide for some matters?
Big topic, Alan. To be honest with you, I think we probably need to just get ourselves around the table as a committee and indeed, just work out how we're going to move forward with a slightly changed structure. But I think certainly see ourselves publishing a list of projects that we're looking to progress in 2025. I see us kind of advertising that out and promoting that out to all the members, and indeed all the members, and indeed the AR community at a wider level, and getting project groups established to progress each of those projects. And the role of the steering committee will be to largely coordinate and to try and support those groups in progressing projects. And again, there will be kind of more centralized projects for the steering committee to work on, such as raising some finance, for example, the getting of the company structure set up correctly, and indeed the hosting of some international sharing events and such like. I think there's a fairly broad list, but the list will break down into centralized work areas that the committee can actually deliver on, and also then a large number of actual projects that will be delivered by supporters, people on this call. And as we said, we had 1,300 people signing the petition for AR Says No, and there's a community of people worldwide here that we just need to begin to tap into. And, they should feel as if they can be part of IARA and they can contribute to projects and policies and areas of work, So that's the hope. But again, we just have to kind of, as a committee, we're going to get together and probably create an action plan really for 2025. Hope that helped. Folks, I think we're kind of heading towards the end of this particular session. I suppose what I would just to echo Lisa's call, that if anybody on this call is in a position to help out in any way, getting involved with projects and areas, there's contact details there. I think everyone would have received correspondence from Lisa, but contact at internationaladventureracing.org will reach us, or indeed, any of those other, the membership at internationaladventureracing.org, or indeed, Facebook and social media will get us also. But I guess, we would value input and indeed any suggestions you have. But the plan will be to produce a task list for 2025, and then populate, try and recruit people to help out on those projects, publish guidelines or circulate those in draft formats, and eventually bring any of these policies or stuff that we create during the year. We would bring those back at the AGM this time next year to actually kind of, to endorse and to adopt into the organization. I think that's it. I'm happy to bring the meeting to a close if that is okay. Ross, are we okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with that, Cormac. I think great job. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa, you can stop recording there now. Just to say